This is a tiny model of our massive sun, made right here in the BrainSTEM Maker Lab. This is the star that we live closest to. And what makes our sun and other stars unique is they give off light. Have you ever gazed up into the stars? What did you think? How did you feel? What did you see? I remember the first time I looked up at the stars. They kind of reminded me of lightning bugs, how they twinkle off and on. I was struck with awe, realizing there were no boundaries. As I got older, it even furthered my curiosity. The beauty of it all just made me want to be quiet. I felt empowered. I felt free. And most of all, I wondered what was out there and how could I get out there to see it. When we look out in the huge night sky and see all of those lights and realize that they're all stars similar to our sun. Some are much smaller. Others are much, much bigger. There are so many stars. In fact, in the Milky Way galaxy, the galaxy we live in, that we see when we look out into the night sky, there are about 300 billion stars. And that's just one galaxy. Presently, from what we've discovered so far, there are more than 125 billion galaxies. Hold up. How do we know that there's even 300 billion stars in our galaxy? How do we know that galaxies even exist? It's crazy, right? Well, that's the whole reason we're here today. We're going to learn about that. Inside this golden box lies one of the clues as to how all of this got started. But before I open it, I want to talk about some of the secret superpowers that we all have to unlock the mysteries of the galaxy. There are a ton of superpowers that we have, but first I want to focus on two. Those are curiosity and observation. Many thousands of years ago, human beings knew little about stars. They just had simple tools in their own curiosity and observation. This gave birth to different types of astrology and religious beliefs about stars, and which eventually led to astronomy, which is just the study of the stars scientifically. From their observations, they carved, wrote, and painted all of what they saw and what they thought it meant. Let's run a set of experiments ourselves and put our very own superpowers of curiosity and observation to work. Light travels at the same speed all the time, but when light passes through certain objects, it changes light, such as crystals. Have you ever taken the time to look at how light changes when it passes through a crystal, or looking through a crystal and seeing how it changes the picture? Well, today we're going to do a little experiment where we show how light bends when it passes through water. So first, we're going to fill one of these glasses up with water, then we're going to leave the other one empty. And then we're going to look into this glass and see how it changes what's inside. So first off, we're going to put this pencil in this glass of water. Our empty glass, I mean. What do you see? And now I'm going to put this one into the glass of water. So both of those are in the same exact position in those glasses. But do they look like they're in the same position inside of the water? No, that's because refraction. Refraction is the bending of light when it passes through a certain medium, such as water or a crystal. So, that brings us to the breakthrough inside this box. Wow, look at that. You know what that is? This is a replica of a stone discovered in 1850 by Sir John Layard in an Assyrian palace in Iraq. They used this stone over 3,000 years ago. They used this stone to start fires. That's proof that humans have been bending light for over 3,000 years. Isn't that cool? Well, let's check this out. So, as we can see, flashlight on the paper. Now let's put our flashlight behind the lens. See what happens. See? It focuses that light. And as we move our lens, we can change how that light bends in our lens. Now, let's try a different flashlight with 3 LEDs and see what happens. See that? Now what do you see? We see 3 lights down there because it's focusing the 3 LED lights that are inside of this flashlight. Controlling light with lenses is what gave birth to the potential of exploring the stars. In the late 1500s, the telescope was refined into something many people could use. The first widely known telescopes were created in the Netherlands in 1608 by 3 spectacle makers, Hans Lippershey, Zacharias Janssen, and Jacob Matthias. They mainly used their inventions for looking at things on Earth. Then came Galileo Galilei and his team of others that used their superpowers of curiosity and observation to turn spectacle makers' inventions from looking at things on Earth to gazing at the stars. And this began to change everything that humans knew about space. They collected evidence about the moon and other planets like Mars and Jupiter. They also refined the design of the telescope to make it 10 times more powerful, to see much farther and discover even more about the cosmos. I can't express enough the importance of curiosity and observation, and how those 2 superpowers will lead you to unlocking all of the others. In fact, who and what we just learned about didn't get us to understand the number of stars in our galaxy or the number of galaxies in the cosmos. No, they just got us humans started. There were a whole lot of other curious souls out there, just like you and me, that would have to invent completely new technologies to make that possible. And that's what more episodes of the BrainSTEM Explorer will be about. But remember to find ways to make time to grow your curiosity and build your observation skills. As always, I'm here to help, but it's ultimately up to you to dive in and explore and learn. Now, back to your robotic space adventure.